here with Aimee, and she's telling her story about her car accident.
Okay, so I'm driving down the road, and I'm going from Houston down toward Bay City, where Tim was being sworn in as a lawyer that day. So this is his first, and we'd kind of had this discussion about whether he was going to pick up the kids or I was, and I usually always picked up the kids because of just how our work was. He was in school at the time, you know, during all the times previous to that. But this time I said, you're going to have to get him because I know it's going to be a tight schedule. Well, don't be late. I won't be late. So I'm driving down the road, and something says, clearly it's the Spirit, but at this time I wasn't thinking it was the Spirit, so somebody says, you know, slow down. And I'm going about 80, and it's barely sprinkling, but I drove these roads all the time, so yeah, ignored it. The next time I'm driving, and, you know, slow down, you know, got this, you know, whatever, you know, ignored it. Next time, you're going to be in an accident. And I'm like, I don't know if I ignored that one, but it was like 4 or 5 promptings. It wasn't once, and it wasn't 2 times even. And it was like, you're going to be in an accident. Anyway, and so I let back to about 70. Well, the speed limit there was 70. So I'm going about 70, and it's misty, sprinkly. And I hit this just about the time I had cut back. I mean, it wasn't like 10 miles in, you know. So I'd cut back, and I'm driving, and I lost control. So my back tires just kind of started spinning. You know, I started fishtailing all over the place. And when I fishtailed, I'd get it corrected, and it would turn and go into another fishtail the opposite direction. You know, I'm just doing this all down the road, the whole, and it felt like forever. And finally, I was like, I can't correct it. So I totally was like, all right, Heavenly Father, you know, please protect me. Please protect me. And I totally let my hands down and tried to relax as much as possible. And I slammed into this embankment, you know. Of course, this is what I thought I did, you know. So, and I tried to, my head hit so hard to the back. You know, my hand hit the steering wheel. But I pulled the visor down to check my head to see where I was bleeding. And I looked, and there wasn't any blood. So then I tried to open my door. And when I went to open it, it tore through my suit and the white coat that I was wearing from the hospital. And it wouldn't, I couldn't get out. It was all bent metal, you know, and I was like, ugh. So, yeah, mangled. And I was kind of angry at this because here I'm wearing this nice suit, you know. And I go to try to get out the passenger front side, and I get out, and I climb up this muddy embankment, and now I'm mad because my shoes are all muddy, and here I'm going to this nice thing for Tim, you know, this big swearing in thing. So I go up the muddy embankment, and the first car, I mean, it's barely
sworn
sprinkling.
in, is what they said?
He was being sworn in as a lawyer, you know, like whatever it is. So I get up
Sworn into the bar.
Yeah, so I get up the muddy embankment, and the first car I see, I flag down. It happened to be 2 teenage girls ditching school. An old beat up pickup truck, you know. And I said, hey, I was just in an accident, but my husband is being sworn in as a lawyer. This is his first, you know, I cannot be late. Is there any way you can take me to Bay City? Well, we're going that way. But I don't know if we have enough gas. And I said, I'll pay you, you know, okay. So we get down to Bay City, that she drops me off, and right when I pull up, everyone's loaded in the car, and Tim goes, you're late, you know. And no, well, I was just in an accident. And he goes, well, you know, what happened? And I said, well, I'm in a ditch, you know, I hit a ditch. And he goes, well, how do you know? I said, I just totaled the car. And he goes, well, how do you know you totaled it? Well, if I didn't total it, it's going to cost a lot of money, you know, kind of thing, you know. I mean, you know, so I get out, and we're all done. But by now, we'd gone to the courthouse. They took our picture. I had no clue, but I was white as a ghost. I was totally in shock this whole time, but I didn't know it. And I had a broken blood vessel on my hand, but now I can't even move my neck. And so Papa, you know, he's a doctor. He said, you get over to the ER. I want to get an x-ray on your neck and see how you're doing. And Tim says, where's the car? I don't know. And he goes, well, give me a whereabouts. And well, it'll be on your left-hand side, because I was coming this direction, you know. And I think it was kind of around a Chevron station, if I remember that, because I remember I was almost going to ask if they would put ice on my hand, because my hand hurt, you know. Mm-hmm. But instead I just, you know, kind of held that. So anyway, we get all finished. I go get the x-ray. And I mean, I'm there 3 hours trying to go to the ER x-ray, you know. Didn't matter that it was Papa. And Tim calls me and says, I can't find this car anywhere. You've got to tell me where it's at. Well, it's to the left. It's to your left when you're driving, you know. He goes, I've been up and down that entire road. I don't see it anywhere. Well, I know I went into a ditch, you know, and he goes, I've looked in all the ditches. And I don't know. So fine, you know, I said, but I'll be home in a little while. I'm just here still at the hospital. So he finally calls DP troopers or cops or whatever and says, hey, I'm looking for a car. My wife, you know, and he calls me. I had hit 2 trees going 70 miles an hour. And the Ford Contour's like a 4-door. I mean, it's kind of longer. It's not like a compact car. It's like a 4-door, you know, it's like a Taurus, you know, those old Ford Taurus. My back wheels were folded up in front of my front wheels, and there was no car there. There was no front seat. I don't know how I got out. It didn't seem like I struggled, but the front seat was jammed way up into the steering wheel like this. And I walked away. I walked away from that. Tim called and he was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? You know, once he saw the image of the car. But everything about that, when you think, okay, I'm driving down the road, I'm in an accident. What's the first thing we're going to do if it's an adult? Oh, well, let's check this out. And what happened? And let's call the cops. And it's not going to be a climb to the bank, hop in a car, go to get sworn in, leave. I mean, I get the chills talking about it. You know, leave, or be fine, go get an x-ray, you know, be fine on your neck. The girls, I completely forgot to even pay them. They went back to the car and they left me this big long note on the windshield like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. Like, it's like this little compact nothing. It looked like a smasher had smashed the car down. Yeah. But the cop was so like shocked that anyone could live through it. And there were strollers sticking out that I always had in the trunk, sticking out of the back window of how, like, they came through for the force of what happened. But the tree, my car, and I totally have this chills, my car, like, I'm driving and I'm spinning, hit one tree going 70 miles an hour. When you think about this, the back of the car hit it, did a circle and hit it again, hit 2 trees, 1, 2, and the third time around, all on the back part of that car. Never hit it from the sides, I'd be dead. Never hit it from the front, I'd be dead. That car went boom, hit it, boom, hit it, and boom, hit it. Like it did a 1.5 turn and was left there just folded, and just totally folded up for me to walk away from and not have my kids with me. So.
All right, thanks for sharing. That was cool.